Hello, everyone. Welcome this afternoon to Shore's Western Percussion Miking Techniques and Listening Session. My name is Falid Damania. I am the Market Development Manager for Shore South Asia. With me is Mr. Pramod Chandorkar, the owner of Sound Ideas Studio and Sound Engineering Academy. So today's topic is Western Percussion Miking Techniques and Listening. It's a listening session. Um, as far as the various instruments today, we have congas, we have tumbas, we have quinto, we have timbales, we have bongos, we have a cajon, and we have some shakers and maracas. And we'll quickly see what microphones can be used on these instruments, and then we'll get into a listening session, and we can spend a little more time actually listening.
Exactly, that's what we had thought of
instruments.
today. Yeah.
Exactly. So once again, I want to really give a good thank you to Pramod. We go back many years, and it's great of him to open up this studio for us and let us do these demo sessions, which we've
It's my
never had a
pleasure.
chance to do before.
It's my pleasure. It's good fun.
Thank you.
And let me, at this time, we should tell, like, guys can feel that, we are in a studio
Yeah.
and what kind of processing we are going through.
Yeah.
So, very frankly, we are just using the SSL 4000 G Plus console, and the microphones are coming, and we are not using a single.
None of the processing.
None of
Other
the
than
processing.
phantom power, nothing is on.
Other than phantom power and just basic gain staging at the input, and just using the preamp of the SSL basically.
Yeah.
And we are listening to whatever it's going out. So there's no EQ happening, there's no compression happening anywhere.
Yeah.
Not even filters actually.
No filters.
No filters also.
No high pass.
So it is just a pure output of a microphone what you're listening to.
Yeah.
So that's good fun. That will be.
So a couple of the suggestions and the considerations that we always give is the number of mics. Do you require 1, 2, 3, 4 microphones? In a studio, maybe you require a little less, but in a live environment, you need to mic each of the elements independently.
Yeah.
Use proximity effect very carefully. We were having a discussion about proximity effect. Basically, that is when you hold a microphone up close to the source, you get a buildup of low frequency sound. And because of that buildup, it gives a little bigger sound, but it can also be a little muddy sound. So you need to be a little careful about that.
And just, I would like to brush this while we are talking about proximity. Every microphone has that individual frequency response.
Yeah.
So when we buy a microphone, you have a spec sheet.
Yes.
Where you can know what is the what it's going to do to your sound.
Exactly.
And mind well, a lot of times there is a confusion that I can have any, I should have any mic and I can use a EQ to get the tonality I want.
To save it.
But understand one thing, you definitely you can use a EQ, but whenever you add equalizing processing into a signal, you are playing with the phase characteristics of that input signal. So and that does make a lot of difference in your sound.
Correct.
So again, we are not trying to tell you that don't use a EQ, but we are trying to tell there are other ways.
The source correct first.
Other ways like using the right microphone with the right frequency response, right positioning. Once you do that, then you will save all the problems in the phase what you're going to have with the EQ, and then you can smartly use the EQ at a later point.
Absolutely. So again, then the construction of the instrument, whether it is wooden, whether it is metal, what kind of skin, is it natural fiber, is it artificial fiber, makes a lot of difference with respect to the tone.
With congas, actually, I would like to add, you have congas with stands.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So
we
what
prefer
happens
not
is,
to do that. We prefer to put them on the floor
different.
sometimes.
It's again as per the musician comfort.
Yeah.
Like generally you will see in the Western Latin great percussionists, you will always see them playing congas on a stand. And standing and playing.
Correct.
So and there are a lot of great percussionists who also put it on the floor. And do that.
Yes.
So it's a different tonality you can create because out of the whole body of the conga, then you have a gap between the floor. So that creates a different sound. So today we are actually not using the stands, we are putting it on the floor.
On the deck.
But that's also one point which always should be taken care of.
Absolutely. And last two, and I think some of the most important, is the phase and the frequency response, both of the instrument versus the frequency response of the mic. So always be aware of phase, especially when you have more than one source on one instrument. Just
be very careful
and
about
if exactly
this.
about the if there you are placing the microphone where one side of the one microphone is receiving a different movement of the
exactly,
skin,
exactly.
and other
Up
side
and
is
down,
so
basically.
up and down
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
will always have a phase
We'll
issue.
always have a
So
phase
that's
issue.
if you are putting a microphone up and down,
Yeah.
please listen by inverting the phase once, and you will suddenly you might find that the lows have just opened up.
Yep.
So that actually is very evident in the low frequency.
So these are the various options that are possible for congas. So conga, tumba, quinto, the set. So PGA 56, PGA 57, PGA 98, the SM57, SM58. Obviously, those are the most well known. The Beta 98 AMP, Beta 98 DS, Beta 181, and the PGA 181. So several options at various price points to consider for this kind of percussion. For bongos, the PGA 98D, the 98DS, Beta 98DS, SM57, and 98 AMP. These are various options you can try. All the 98 and the PGA series, the mics that I've listed here, they come with their own clamps, so you don't have to worry about buying a clamp separately. It's part of the package. Timbale is one of my favorite instruments over here. Again, you can see the PGA 98D. That's actually one microphone I'd really like to try. Maybe in the next few sessions, if I can get my hand on one of those, we'll try that microphone. And the cajon. Now, cajons, isn't it almost like a full drum kit built into one instrument?
Yeah, it's like a kick and snare together
Kick
kind
and
of a
snare
thing.
together, and if you have some little hand cymbals, you can actually play.
And you also, you in some of the cajon instruments, you get where they've attached a tambourine to it.
Tambourine to it, yeah.
So it's like a full frequency response, like from high frequencies to real low frequencies.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting instrument.
Correct. So for this one, LP is a big manufacturer of cajons, and they've got a little shoe mount, as you can see on the slide. And the Beta 91, honestly, is probably the best microphone you can use for cajon. So you either place it outside, or the shoe mount can fit at the back of the cajon, where you can actually place it from the rear also.
Yeah, and it has like a port behind, basically, where you get the low.
So port is the lows come from the port, and the fingers.
And the front side is the snare side.
The snare sound.
So it's actually you have to mic it from both sides, and again the phase.
And
actually, it's interesting. We'll demonstrate the phase part.
So the various mic options that we have for today are the PGA, our good old friend PGA 181, PGA 56, 52. We are using, in fact, today we've changed around the ribbon mic. So we're using the KSM 313. We're using the KSM 313 instead of the 353 today. And the usual suspects, which is the Beta 181, which is a little lollipop microphone you can see down here to the bottom right. So these are the various microphones that we have in use for today. I believe we have the SM27 also, which is on djembe.
We have it on the djembe.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, we are in perfect time. Let's start listening to some stuff. This is it's great to know about the microphones, but I think the listening session that follows is more important, because that you can actually
important
listen to
and
what's
interesting
happening.
for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that, Fali, do you want to actually just look at if you have any questions?
Guys, are there any questions we can take now? Else we can continue
regarding the microphones.
Yeah, regarding the microphones, just feel free to type your questions in the chat window, and feel free to, and we'll answer. So just for everyone's information, in this screen, in the top left, you see that microphone with the little reddish reddish grill. So that is the KSM 313. It is the smaller brother of the KSM 353 ribbon microphone. So that's the one there. On the djembe, we have the SM27, PGA 56s, and the PGA 181 on the congas, and the Beta 91 is in the cajon. The Beta 181 lollipop side address condenser is what Vijay Bhai will be using to play the bongos. So hi everyone, hi Vijay Bhai, and hi AB. Awesome to have you all part of this session. For everyone that's not aware, Vijay and AB are the sought after musicians when it comes to Indian percussion recordings. In this business, they are very, very well known and very super talented musicians.
I like every time I would like to make this point. Every time people feel whenever I've interacted,
Yeah.
like a conga low sound has to be real low.
Yeah, bass drum.
Bass drum. Oh, I don't know. People somehow expect that a low means it has to be close to a bass drum and
Bass drum.
150
Yeah.
kind of a range.
Yeah.
Now, if you listen what we just heard right now, there's nothing 250 below 250.
Yeah.
We have nothing. So it's like,
Yeah.
and that's how it actually cuts through with a drum kit or kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I see visually, I can see that the skin on the Writer conga is looks different.
This is a raw head skin,
Okay.
Raw head skin. Okay.
and these are the new skin, fiber skins.
Fiber skins.
Okay.
Differences in the skin.
Nice.
So if it will make a difference if all are raw heads and all are fibers, it will definitely make a difference in the sound. That's an interesting.
That's an interesting
information.
point.
Yeah,
Interesting
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Interesting point. I guess the conga without the head at the bottom is like if you have a tom and you remove the bottom head, you
Correct,
cut the
correct,
resonance a little bit.
Yeah.
But the moment, like you saw when he tilted it, that resonance comes
Yeah,
out
that
a
comes
little
out,
more,
yeah.
little more again.
So as a musician, AB, what would you feel
What do you
when you
prefer?
have a stand, the sound of a conga with the stands, or what's your choice?
For the recording purpose, I would go with keeping on the floor.
On the
Okay.
floor.
But for show and all, because you don't know how the stage and all for the live shows. Sometimes when the flooring or the stages are made by the wooden so it gives a
So,
We'll now let's listen to this with the room mic on.
okay, we'll listen to the same.
We'll just switch on the room mic in this while you're playing.
Yeah, yeah,
So keep
yeah.
playing. So I just introduced the room mic now. Okay, Abhijit, please play.
Let's play. Nice.
So we just cut the room mic.
Cut the room mic now. Yeah.
So actually the whole ambience,
Correct.
life comes with that.
Life
room.
comes with
Yeah.
that.
Interesting.
Cool.
So you guys can make out the difference between it was with the room mic and without the room mic, right?
Correct. Yeah. You should be able to make the.
I think it's
make the difference. Okay. Cool. So let's. Thanks, Amy. Let's check the.
Bongo.
Bongos?
Let's,
Yeah, let's do
check the
bongos.
bongos. This is the Beta 181.
This is the Beta 181.
Yeah.
Okay, Vijay bhai.
Thank you. AB, why don't you join them? Just muted the room mic.
Yeah, just muted the room mic.
Actually, it's the magic. Room mic has always been.
Definitely.
Great, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are any questions, you can type in your in the chat window, and if not, we can start checking some djembe. So Vijay bhai is going to be playing the djembe, and in this, what do we have? We have the SM27, which is on the top,
Yeah,
and we have the
PGA.
PGA 56,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
on
at
the
the
bottom.
at the bottom.
Bottom,
Yeah.
we have put it just at the opening
Yeah.
of the djembe.
Yeah.
And if you see, even for djembe, I would like to also make this point. A lot of times, Vali, you remember when we toured,
Yeah.
and when we used to ask for a djembe
Yeah.
to the backline people, and most of the time we used to get some small kind
Yeah,
of.
they should. I think the
It's a confusion
they should
between like
send a dumbek or like
or darbuka or something,
Not a djembe.
and small size. So
Yeah.
this is actually the full size
This is a
djembe,
full
right,
size.
Vijay?
Yeah.
ये full size है ना ये?
Yeah, correct.
So full size djembe, because you will get the lows only if you have
Yeah.
the proper size of the instrument.
Right.
So
So someone's asking what size of djembe is this? This is 13 inch, no? 13 inch.
16 का full size है भाई.
Full size. 14 inch. So this is a 14 inch.
14 inch,
14
है
inch djembe.
हाँ.
Yeah.
16 का भी आता है क्या इसके बाद? अच्छा, you also get 16. This is a 14 inch,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, you get 16 also. I think the Remo makes a 16-inch djembe,
Yeah.
which is like really
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
But I think the most common one is the 14-inch djembe.
क्या बोल रहे हैं विजय भाई?
12 का छोटा आता है.
12 का
12 का छोटा
12 का
बट उसमें लोज नहीं आता है ना वो.
हाँ, लोज मिड लोज आता है.
हाँ.
हाँ, mid lows.
एंड इसमें भी ये स्किन इज दैट द फुल ये रॉ स्किन है ना.
Raw
Big
skin,
Boy
raw
बजाते
skin.
हैं ना,
Raw
Big
skin.
Boy वो 12 का रहता है.
ओके.
Okay. And there's a question here about what instrument can you add with a conga to get more lows. Now, if you want to get more lows from a conga, you can actually put it on stand, and you can actually mic.
You can do that, but
mic
if you
the
want
low
more
conga.
lows, but again, that will be also your as per the tuning and the size. The conga does not come to that.
Does not come to that.
So when you
exactly.
want to go to add more lows, you can maybe add a djembe with that for a
Yeah.
downbeat to get
Yeah,
that
for a
low.
downbeat, exactly,
And
exactly.
maybe you can add like a kick drum or a basic tar drum. You
Yeah,
can add to get
Yeah,
those
yeah,
lows.
yeah,
But
yeah.
these instruments are not supposed
They
to.
don't
are
fit
not
in that frequency range, basically.
Or even
They're
the
not in that
timbali you can
frequency
use for the low.
range.
You
Yeah,
get that.
They're not
But-
in that frequency range, basically.
Yeah. So now let's listen to the djembe. We'll listen to one by one mic.
Yep.
So we are just listening to a top mic right now. Yeah, Vijay bhai, please play.
Yeah, top.
Huh. You play the pattern. So now we'll just add the low mic.
Maybe just mute the top mic so we can just listen to the
No, the bottom is which one?
PJ. This one.
No, this one.
Yeah. So you can hear that little sub frequency low end that's coming.
So this
through
is
the
just the low mic now and the room mic. Sorry, this is just the low mic. Now I'm adding the top and bottom,
Yeah.
and now we'll add the room mic to it.
So this is now 3 mics: the
Yeah.
djembe top, djembe bottom, and the room microphone. So all 3 together.
Now you will see I have actually not done any phase adjustments on this. Let's try doing that.
Yeah.
See, I just inverted the phase on the PG52.
Yeah, PG52. Yeah. 52. Inverse, take it out again.
Okay, keep playing. Sorry,
Keep
Vijay bhai. Please keep playing.
So you can hear immediately the
You can
low end
see
is
the
gone.
change.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Vijay bhai.
Yeah.
You know, actually, you can see that till we did the change, you think that the low is good.
The low is good.
But as soon as you do and if you want more lows, you might tend to go to the place, change the microphone
Correct,
placing
correct,
or something.
correct, exactly,
But if you just try inverting the phase,
Yeah.
you really can find out that
Right.
it just opens up the lows.
So the one question here about the high pass filter. So there are no filters that are on at all.
Nothing is
So
on, no
there's
processing is
no
on.
filters,
It's all flat.
no high pass, no low pass, no EQs. So what you're basically, the whole point of this exercise is to just listen to the mics as they're supposed to be heard. So there's no real filtering there's nothing, none of the filters or anything are on at the moment. All we were doing was play with the phase. So when we did not have the phase switch in, you lost a lot of low end with the phase switch in. Now it's out of
Yeah,
phase. Suddenly
yeah.
that low end
Yeah.
starts to come back.
And again, the room mic always adds the magic.
Yep.
Shamal Saha.
Yeah, so
asking about
there's an
tabla.
interesting question here. In tabla, in fact, we did that whole session last week. It was a very
Exactly.
cool session, and that session is up actually on our YouTube page.
So you can hear all the microphones, how they sound on tabla. We have done tabla, dholak,
Yeah.
pakhawaj, all Indian
Yeah,
instruments
yeah,
we have
yeah,
done.
yeah.
And I'm sure your lot of questions will be answered if you see that session.
Yeah, that's a very long
Yeah,
session. It's a
yeah.
good 1 hour, 45 minute
Yeah,
session.
yeah.
So that is already on the Shore YouTube page, Shore South Asia YouTube page. I'll give you the link of that page in a little bit. So yeah, what do we have next? Shall we check some?
The
Let's
Cajon?
do Cajon, yes.
Cajon,
please.
yeah. So Cajon, we will check is with the
Beta
180
91
beta 91 inside
and the
backside
181 is
and
out.
181 at the outside. So AB, can you just give me the low part? So this is the beta 91 inside.
Yeah.
Now I'll
At the 181.
add the 181 to it.
Yeah. Now you can hear the fingers very clear.
Yeah. AB, you can play the pattern. Do you want to, the position of the microphone, the low is good, right?
Fine,
We are
fine.
getting
Absolutely
enough.
fine, absolutely.
So we'll just try to do some phase.
Yeah. No, this is taken out it completely.
I just taken
So
out
we
the
just
phase.
now what we've done is
lows.
we've flipped the phase, and because of flipping phase, you've kind of lost the entire low end completely.
Yeah.
Yep. And now
Let me add the room mic.
other room mic, but you should get rid of that phase problem just now.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Suddenly
Now
get
you
the
can
lows.
hear you can hear the lows again.
Now, see the opening of the room mic, again the magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You get that bigness into it, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's
This
this
is
one thing, like I remember at one event with Trilok Gurtu many years ago, and he was like, if you want that finger sound to come in 4.7K, it's still written in my brain like that over here. Maybe let's just add some 4.7 and see on the
181?
Beta 181, just see what happens.
Yeah, let's see.
Just a little bit.
4.7K. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, there you go. So that's now, firstly, that is
this is the first time we are using a EQ on anything of
we're
this.
putting an EQ, that's the
But
wonder.
we wanted to try out the Trilok Bhai's
Trilok
tip.
Bhai's, yeah. The thing when you do any work with Trilok Bhai, he'll come first to you and tell you these are the frequencies I want you focus on these. And but like 4.7 for Cajon highs is like imprinted in my mind. So that's again without the
it's a
EQ,
magic.
and now the EQ is back in, so you should be able to.
And
hear
it's some
the,
3 dB of boost we have done.
yeah, it's
not much.
Not even not much at all.
And actually, again, thank you, AB.
Thank you.
Actually, this is a very valuable thing. You know, no one knows the sound better than the musician
The
himself.
musician himself. Actually, the musician should know the sound the best, as in not only highs and lows, but I think also frequency wise. If you can, as a musician, if you can communicate to the engineer frequencies, not just I need more lows, I need more
Yeah.
highs. No, I need little more of that frequency.
But you always see that, you know, these ace musicians like
Yeah.
Zakir Bhai or
Yes,
even
yes,
with
yes,
Taufik
yes.
Bhai, you see,
Yes,
they exactly know the sound, and
Yeah.
it becomes much easier because they also can know the limitations.
The limitations.
They
Exactly.
they are not the people who will ask you for a low out of a conga.
Right.
So you know
right.
that really helps.
Right,
you know,
right,
when they have.
Right.
But even if they don't know the frequencies,
Right.
they will know what is the character they are trying to portray out of that in the spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah, Abhijit wanted to add something. Yes, Abhijit,
sir.
you can speak.
Well, somebody asked you for the lows
Huh.
in that conga pattern.
Huh.
So you can add
A cajon.
notes in the same pattern. I was playing similar pattern.
Correct.
So you'll get the lows.
You get the lows.
Huh.
Yeah, the lows from the cajon and the
So
top.
let's do one thing, na? AB, why don't you play your conga, and Vijay bhai, can you play the same pattern on isme? So we can see the combination.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing.
So you should be able to hear that extra low end now coming through the system. Yeah. Thanks, Vijay. So you should have been able to hear now the extra low end coming from the cajon, and you know the regular conga sound. So the low end basically fills up little more space. Yeah, it's a great combination.
Yeah, you know,
to
Vijay
have,
bhai,
actually.
why don't you just play the djembe now with the conga?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
So I
they-
hope you can
yeah.
see the
So that you
combinations.
get that combination. So you just add a
you get a
little-
different low with the djembe,
Yeah.
different with the cajon.
Exactly. So basically, what you're getting is that the low end downbeat from the djembe and you're adding the conga.
Like you
into
don't try to EQ and take a low end out of
exactly,
the conga.
Exactly. Maybe a very talented conga player might even play one hand on this side, one hand on the
Oh yeah,
djembe.
yeah, yeah.
That's
They
also
do that.
definitely
They
possible.
do play. They do play.
Like very hybrid setups where, you know, with one hand you're playing the conga and the other hand you're actually playing the downbeat on the
They also put a kick pedal to the
kick
cajon.
pedal. Yeah.
So you know the
Exactly.
percussionist will do that and
Exactly.
give you everything out of that.
And last, let us check the
Timbalis?
yes, I would
favorite?
like to say the Western version of the dhol.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, if there are any questions, then please ask, and I'll be happy to answer. In the meantime, we have just the timbale to listen to, and what we will actually do is I will put on some slides for you. So this is Sound Ideas Academy. This is their online portal, and you can, the academy is very much alive, but they've also started an online school. Let me take some questions. Oh, that's a great question. Output impedance with respect to the console impedance. Now, I'll make this very simple to understand. And that is, so Pramod, the question is, what is the impact of the impedance of a microphone versus impedance of the console? So, I have a very nice analogy of this. So, let's say basically what you want is you want full power transfer. Impedance is like resistance. Okay, so when you have resistance, when you have any form of resistance, what you're actually doing is you want the source and the destination impedance to be the same, and that way you get the maximum power transfer. So it's the same with microphones to consoles. It's the same with in-ear monitor headphones to in-ear monitor belt packs. It's the same concept. Amplifiers to speakers. It's the same concept. Now, what happens if your impedance of your source is less than the impedance of your destination? You actually get more volume, and that's basically what you see. As the impedance of speakers go low and low, you get more and more sound. It's the same with microphones. So as the microphone impedance goes lower than your console, it's actually amplifying a little more, to a point where you might even get into distortion. So it's not a great thing. It's not a great thing. But, and the other way is, say if you take an SM7B console microphone, or you take any of the ribbon microphones, their impedance is much higher than the impedance of the desks.
That's where you need to add.
That's why you need to add a lot more gain into the system.
Exactly.
So basically, ideally, you need to match the impedance of the microphone to the console. Most, I'd say 90% of the modern day microphones and consoles are matched. You don't have to worry about that. But
I think, yeah, with user level,
one second.
Basically what you use the gains. You don't match the impedance with the gains, but you compensate that difference.
Exactly, with additional gain from the console
itself.
So that's basically the little rule behind it, and it's the same that applies to in-ear monitors and headphones and in-ear monitor belt packs.
Exactly.
Think if you use in-ear monitors and you use studio grade headphones.
So it's like a 8 ohm and 16 ohm.
Yes, you don't get enough gain from the pack, cannot drive it.
Sorry, 80 ohm and 120 ohm headphones.
Yes.
So you need to push more. You need an amplifier for that. So that's exactly what.
That's exactly the thing there.
Yeah.
If there are any more questions, we are good to take, and then we will get into the listening to the timbale. Actually, let's do timbale. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So what I've put is I've just put a SM27.
Okay.
And for the optional purpose, I have a Beta 181 there. PG, sorry, the PG 181.
Okay.
So, yeah, Vijay bhai, can you play?
This will be a little loud. Yep.
Now let me add the room mic to it. Now, now the interesting part you will see is again the low and high. So a lot of people we see in the live scenario wherever you travel, they like to love to put two microphones to it, and in live I would put, because it's not a condenser microphone, but they like to put the SM58 from bottom.
Underneath. Yeah.
So that gives the idea is to get those lows.
Get a little more low.
But again, as I said, this is not tuned right now as per the Dandiya standards.
Dandiya standard, correct.
So
correct,
this is when
it's
you go that
tuned to a Latin percussion
the way
tuning,
it's
the way it's supposed to be.
We have modified the use of that instrument in our culture.
Our music, yeah.
But low, you can't. What a lot of times what people do is they put a mic on this and they say low is not coming.
Yeah.
But it's not tuned to that low.
Right,
so
right.
you have to tell the artist to tune it to if you expect that kind of a low.
So that's
he wanted to actually AB wanted to do with the conga and timbali.
Thing, yep.
So let's do a conga timbali duo kind of a thing.
Yeah. With the cowbell.
Nice. Yeah, so actually we covered everything.
That's covered
right?
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So that's all the instruments that we covered. So we went from congas.
Okay, here's a shaker.
Let's do some shaker. Let's try some shaker.
Let's try some shakers.
Okay. There's a question here. Can you, Dave, if you can read out some of the questions.
What instrument goes with halgi or thamte to get the
Sure, I'll do that.
We just checked this with halgi. No, that's here. The halgi is a very midish, like a chanda kind of instrument.
Yeah.
And lows, especially with that time, goes is the dhol.
Yeah.
The extreme lows, and maybe you can use the duff to get those lows.
Yeah.
And even in today's time, you get a lot of synthesized sub lows over the dhols.
Over the dhol. Yes,
Like if a dhol is tuned somewhere, look, acoustically, you really need to have a taiko or something to go get those 50 hertz or 60 hertz.
Correct.
So
exactly.
a lot of times that is not possible to acoustically make it available, record that.
Right.
So what you can do, interesting thing is, you can record a dhol at maybe 100 hertz low and synthesize a 50 hertz.
50 hertz, yeah.
Out of it at the same thing.
Yes.
So we use that. Lot of things I've done that for Ajay Atul songs where we synthesize that. So use these mixed techniques to do that.
Cool. Okay, I'll see some of the questions here, which says, firstly, what is the room mic? So the room mic is a KSM 313. So it's a ribbon microphone. It's very prominent. It has a bright red grill. So that's the room mic that we're using today. On the previous sessions, we used the 353.
Yeah.
Today we've changed to the 313 just for some variation. But it sounds pretty good as well. And can you have some suggestions for a good kick out from the cajon using SM58 or PGA52? Long before, at least even I knew that the Beta 91 could be used in a kick in a cajon. I think we should use SM58s most of the time.
We should try.
58s at the back and an SM57 on top used to still do the trick.
Yeah.
But it depends on the sound. So if you want that extra low end extension.
And kick out is I think what he's expecting is you put one mic inside and have one mic outside just for the lows.
Just for the lows.
So you can do that also.
Do that.
You can use the same technique what you use for a kick drum. And do that, and have a snare mic in the front. So
because
actually you'll end up having 3 mics.
You will have 3 mics.
But then be careful for the phase.
Of the phase. Exactly. So definitely an SM58 and a PGA52 is also. So 52 at the back, the 58 in the front to capture the highs. It's not a problem at all. Very possible application for that. What is our take on trying to mic up electronic pads or samplers? Which mic suits best?
So actually 58 is the best mic for electronic pads if you want the sound of the sticks hitting the pads.
I don't know if this is a trick question.
He is laughing after that.
But AB Octopad pe mic dale kya agli baar? So AB saying yes, he's given the go ahead. Cool, let's listen to some
shakers,
shaker, maracas,
so
and stuff like that.
PG 181 and Beta 181.
Yeah.
Vijay?
Yep. Yep.
दोनों साथ में?
So Vijay is playing the maracas.
And it's a different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically same microphones we are putting and a lot of good 4 feet, 3 feet distance,
correct.
and you get that.
Exactly.
I think great.
Thanks,
thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, one thing I want to mention when it comes to the shaker, and it's relevant to the in-ear monitor when you mix in-ear monitors. And maybe this is definitely something I'll cover when we do mixing in-ear monitors and in-ear monitor belt packs. But there is something called pilot tone in in-ear monitors. And I know it's a little off the topic, but I think it's very relevant to shakers, and especially when you play octopads and you have a lot of high frequency stuff on the octopads. So pilot tone in any in-ear monitor is the tone which tells the in-ear monitor that you're working in stereo. Pilot tone is 19 kilohertz. Okay. Now, if you add a lot of high frequencies in your mix, in your in-ear monitor mix, you can actually get up to corrupting that 19 kilohertz tone. And what happens because of that is your receiver sometimes will see 19, sometimes will not see. It will not see when there's a lot of high frequency. Because of that, it will start demodulating your signal, little bit stereo, little bit mono, stereo, mono, stereo, mono. It'll keep happening. So it's a good solution to, on any in-ear monitor mix bus, always put a low pass filter of and put the low pass at around 17 kilohertz. In any case, there's not much frequency that goes beyond that. But it is to safeguard if there is too much hats, too much tambourine sounds, too much.
And especially with electronic, you get you tend to have a lot of
frequency trail is very, very high. So just one that's one solution.
It's an important tip.
It's an important tip, but just be aware of that. This is how in-ear monitors work in stereo. And it's in-ear monitors from any manufacturer. It does not matter. If you use in-ear monitors in stereo, this is one solution if you face a problem like that. So one is either reduce the high frequency elements, or then put like a low pass, brick wall low pass filter to around 17, 18 kilohertz is a good option. SI online.
Yes. So we have started to deliver our courses online now. And we also have hybrid. So we are trying to utilize the lockdown period for everyone. So where you can join our regular course, but we are going to complete our almost a good 6 months classroom part on online. And as soon as the lockdown opens, you can come to the premise and start learning. So great, guys. Thank you. Thanks to Shure that we had all this opportunity to get together and do this.
Thank you.
Great.
Next, I'm going to just put a link of our guys at Sun Infonet. So Sun Infonet is the place that you can go to, get inquiry about the microphones. So these are their email and their contact numbers. In any case, this will also be on the recorded video, so you can go back and review it at some point. Just for everyone's info, the videos for drums and Indian percussion is already up on our YouTube channel. This is where you can contact us. So india@shure.com and damanya_Fali at shure.com. We look forward to receiving your emails. This is our Facebook page. So Shure India on Facebook. This will come up to you there. So a lot of the future activities that we do will now be posted on this Facebook page. We are also on YouTube. All the past videos that we've done will all be now over there as well.
And we are also Sound Ideas SI online coming on YouTube channel. So you'll get to see those there also.
And the thing with our channel is we have some content in Hindi as well, especially with the systems integration stuff. My Hindi is not very great, but I've been practicing. So at some point I will do sessions in Hindi. This is the learning portal for Shure. So you can go to this portal and take a lot of Shure's online courses. They all come with like a 2-year, most of them come with a 2-year certification. And thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for taking out time and joining us in this session. And next Friday, we'll be having an interesting session with guitars and violin.
String instruments.
Guitars.
So we got banjo, mandolin, violin, What else do we have?
Then I think
acoustic guitar,
acoustic guitar, 12-string guitar, like all type of guitars.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next Friday, same time.
Yep, same time and same place. And thank you very much, guys.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, and we'll see you.
Enjoy your lockdown.
Enjoy your lockdown. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.